Okay, for this problem, there's going to be a number of different ways that we can actually go about it. But the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and reduce the fraction that's inside. And that would be to go ahead and divide 3 by 3 and get 1, and divide 15 by 3 and get 5. And that's going to give me a new function all the way, or I should say a new expression, which will be x squared y to the third power all over 5 x to the eighth y to the negative 2 power. And that's still going to be raised to the negative 3 power. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and invert the inside and change the outside exponent to a positive. So it becomes 5x to the eighth y to the negative 2 power all over x squared y cubed, and then the outside exponent becomes a 3. Then what I'm going to do is go ahead and apply the outer exponent to all 3 of the 5 factors. So we now are going to have 5 to the third power times x to the eighth power times 3 times y to the negative 2 power times 3, and that's going to be all over x squared times 3 and y cubed, and that exponent will be multiplied by 3. Then we'll go ahead and multiply the exponents, which will be the last thing we do before we start to divide out. And that's going to give me 125, that's the 5 cubed. The x to the eighth times 3 becomes x to the 24th power. The y to the negative 2 times 3 becomes y to the negative 6 power. And that's all over x to the 6, which is x to the 2 times 3 power, and times y to the ninth power. Now that we've multiplied out our exponents, we're going to go ahead and move the y to the negative 6 down into the denominator and change that to a positive exponent, and we'll move the x to the 6th up into the numerator and change that to a negative exponent. Now I could just simply add and subtract the exponents as needed, but I wanted to line up the like terms. So I now have 125 times x to the 24th times x to the negative 6th power. And that's all going to be over y to the ninth power times y to the 6th power. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the exponents on any like bases. So I end up with 125 x to the 24th times x to the negative 6 is the same thing as x to the 24 minus 6, which is going to be x to the 18th power, all over y to the 9 plus 6 power, which is going to be y to the 15th power. And that is your final answer.